Hi, the introverted cynist here. Today, I am going to explain a timeless adventure comedy film called Super Mario Bros. Warning, spoilers ahead. Kick back and take care. A long time ago, about 65 million years ago, in Brooklyn, dinosaurs ruled the Earth, but suddenly a huge meteorite crashes into the Earth, killing the dinosaurs and splitting the universe into two parallel dimensions. The remaining dinosaurs cross into a new dimension, evolving into an intelligent, vicious and aggressive beings. Now, 20 years ago, in Brooklyn, a mysterious woman leaves a large egg, along with a rock, at a Catholic orphanage and flees immediately. A nun takes the egg inside, and just then the egg hatches, containing an infant girl, while being unsure of what the rock means. Meanwhile, the mysterious woman slides in a manhole and is suddenly accosted by Koopa, the antagonist, demanding the rock's location, but unfortunately, the rocks then fall onto the woman, killing her instantly. It is now the present day. Two Italian-American plumber brothers, Mario and Luigi, live in Brooklyn in an apartment, getting ready for their plumbing work. Luigi lives a jovial life, whereas Mario is the one trying to curb Luigi's shenanigans. At the same time, a reporter informs one of Brooklyn's largest construction company, Scapelli Construction, has been ordered to shut down due to university students extending their search for dinosaur bones. Mr. Scapelli, the owner, intervenes on the issue with Daisy, the one in charge, and intimidates her to wrap things up as soon as possible and leaves, nervously. Daisy is now being followed by two goons, Koopa's henchmen and cousins. Meanwhile, along the way, the van stops abruptly next to a sidewalk where Luigi meets Daisy at the payphone and both offers her a ride to get to know each other. In order to escape the goons, she happily complies. After reaching, Luigi asks Daisy on a double date, to which she replies positively. Later that night, at a restaurant, Daisy speaks about a rock and reveals that she was abandoned when she was little, and the rock was all that she has left. At the same time, Luigi also replies that he is an orphan as well and was taken care of by Mario all these years. Seeing this as a connection, the pair hit it off from then. Meanwhile, the goons get confused and kidnaps the girl, Danielle, who Mario was on a date with. Later, in the excavation site, Daisy says she feels comfortable in this place and describes about the dinosaur fossil trying to transform into human being but died due to the meteorite. Before sharing a kiss, suddenly the pair witness two of Scapelli's men sabotaging the place by leaving the water pipes open. The pair now rushes to inform Mario to help them out. Mario without hesitation joins them, and when Mario and Luigi manage to fix it, two goons knock them unconscious and kidnap Daisy. Upon awakening, Mario and Luigi search for Daisy and stumbles upon a portal where Daisy was yelling for help. Luigi, while helping her, accidentally gets hold of her rock and jumps into the portal to pursue her. Mario, though unsure, jumped in as well, and they both were transported through an interdimensional portal to Dinohattan. Later on, at Koopa's loft, he says to his assistant, Lena, due to the meteorite crash, he was forced to exile to this dimension and is utterly disgusted with the present conditions and envies the mammals in the other dimension, but says with the rock and Daisy, he can merge his world with theirs and become dictator. Koopa is now joined by his cousins, revealing that they have captured Daisy, but completely forgets about the rock and tells him the plumbers have it. Koopa now announces a bounty on the plumbers to get the rock for him. The brothers now baffled, while asking for directions, a fat lady snatches the rock from Luigi and escapes. Unfortunately, they get arrested, along with a musician named Toad, for singing anti-Koopa songs, and are then taken to the station to be defungused and then put to prison. Daisy is then shown to be with other kidnapped women and then learns that they are all kidnapped by Koopa, who is looking for a princess. Meanwhile, Koopa escorts Mario and Luigi to the Devo chamber and instructs to de-evolve Toad and demonstrate how a naysayer is punished. Koopa explains, evolution is an upward process, from primeval slime to intelligent life form, but de-evolution is the opposite. After the process, Toad has now de-evolved to a loyal child of the royal family called Goombas. Toad now joins the rest of the Goombas and leaves. Just then, Mario pushes Koopa to the chamber and tries to escape the chamber. The machine has now made a slight effect on Koopa and he furiously orders to catch them. Mario and Luigi make a daring escape from the prison and then hijacks a cop car and peels out. After a grand and wild chase between cop cars, Mario and Luigi takes a wrong deviation. Meanwhile, the car gets caught up in fungus-like cobwebs and accidentally gets thrown out of the tunnel, only to be safely landed due to the fungus's elasticity and escape narrowly. Koopa, in a mud bath, informs Lena to summon Daisy in front of him. Lena, feeling neglected, decides to reveal the truth to Daisy, that she was the long-lost princess of the other dimension. When Koopa overthrew Daisy's father as king and devolved him into a fungus, her mother, the queen, took her to Brooklyn. The portal was then sealed, but Scapelli's men inadvertently reopened the portal when they blasted the cave. Lena adds, "The king could be among us and anywhere." Later on, having fed up with the tomfoolery of his cousins, Koopa now uses the chamber to evolve his cousins' brains to make them think more intelligently and instructs them to catch the plumbers and get the rock immediately. Meanwhile, Daisy, awaiting Koopa's arrival, gets startled and then amused by a live baby dinosaur, Yoshi, who is a pet in the royal family. Just then Koopa boasts about himself and informs Daisy that she descended from the dinosaurs, believing only she can merge the worlds because of her royal heritage. And tries to put the moves on Daisy, but an involuntary shift on his face disgusts her to move away from him. He then orders the Goombas to take her away for later. However, after Koopa subjects his cousins to one of his experiments to make them more intelligent, they realize Koopa's evil intentions and side with the Mario Bros and help them to rescue Daisy and get the rock back. Mario and Luigi, now in disguise, in a club, finds the fat lady, deceives her and gets the rock, but suddenly gets ambushed by Lena and accidentally gives away the rock to her and flees away from the club and later jump into a truck full of garbage headed to the tower. The duo then sneaks into the pipeline and wrecks everything up and heads straight to the top in old vintage clothing. Meanwhile, Lena tries to propose to Koopa but is ignored. Furious, Lena says to herself that Koopa will come back to her if he needs the rock and decides to kill Daisy, and during the process she escapes and meets the cousins along the way and then escorts to her father in a chamber, who is now revealed to be a fungus due to Koopa's experiments. Fortunately, Yoshi enters the chamber and Daisy sets him free. Yoshi then guides her to use the gun to communicate with Luigi and instructs them to get to the chamber. Inside the vents, the mushrooms try to guide them to the chamber, and finally they meet and introduces them to her father. Just then Daisy reveals to Mario that Danielle has been kidnapped to the 51st floor, and later he rescues her along with other survivors through a pipeline with a Goomba mattress. Before Lena could do anything with the rock, she is captured, and the rock gets confiscated and is now presented to Koopa. Luigi and Daisy are now captured, and Koopa announces the Goombas to get ready for an invasion and steps outside. Meanwhile, Mario and the rest gets thrown out of the pipe directly to the Goombas and then reunites with Luigi and Daisy. Due to the kerfuffle, Lena gets hold of the rock and tries to merge the two worlds on her own, but it backfires. Eventually, the two worlds merge, and Koopa accidentally devolves Scapelli into a chimpanzee before going after Mario, but Luigi and Daisy manage to remove the fragment from the meteorite and the worlds separate again. In Dinohattan, Toad hands Luigi and Daisy with a devolution gun. Meanwhile, Mario confronts Koopa and eventually defeats him when he and Luigi fire their devolution guns at Koopa. Koopa, now transformed into a ferocious, semi-humanoid Tyrannosaurus, attempts to kill the Mario Bros. But they permanently destroy him by devolving him to primeval slime. The citizens celebrate and immediately destroy anything with Koopa's likeness. Daisy's father is restored as king after Koopa's defeat. Luigi professes his love for Daisy and wants her to come to Brooklyn with him, but Daisy, having found both her home and father, decides to stay in Dinohattan. Disheartened, Luigi kisses Daisy goodbye and opens a portal for them to return home to Brooklyn and watches them leave. 3 weeks later, the Mario Bros. Are getting ready for dinner with Danielle when their story comes on the news and the anchor man says they should be called the Super Mario Bros. For their bravery. In the closing scene of the film, Daisy then arrives and asks the Mario Bros. To help her on a new mission. The duo then without hesitation joins her. If you like today's video, subscribe and leave a like to help YouTube know you are enjoying this channel. Thanks for watching.